Hi again. This is another battle replay. This is a one-on-one match, and this is against an opponent who is actually he's a reasonable player. And I thought I'd do another battle commentary here, just to show you some different tactics, particularly in one-on-one on Grassy. Now the rules are 5 lights and no art, and I'll give you a quick overview of my build. This is a build I call the Prussian Pin, and I like coming up with really stupid names for builds, but yeah, it's a pretty handy one-on-one build. It's probably very similar to a lot of builds that people use, but I think I'll show you that this is just a little bit different when I use it. From the left side I've got a musketeer, another musketeer, a Prussian fusilier, a foot guard, 3 more Prussian fusiliers in the middle, another musketeer, Prussian fusilier there, a foot guard, a musketeer. Behind my lights in the middle I have a foot guard and a musketeer, which I use as a general. Now I bring 5 lancers and a hussars. Okay, and this is my opponent's build, and he's also chosen Prussia. Now on his left side he has 2 foot guards, he has a militia, 3 musketeers, a musketeer, another musketeer, another musketeer, 8th Life Regiment. On this side he has a foot guard. He also has 3 Prussian fusiliers on this side. He's got the Brandenburg Uhlans, and 3 lancers and a general staff. He is actually chosen not to bring 5 lights, which is interesting in a one-on-one. Don't actually think it works. I've tried a lot of different combinations, and I think in a one-on-one game you really need to bring at least 4 and even 5, particularly if you go in a strong nation which has strong light infantry. However, you can see he's probably looking at trying to attack on this flank with his fusiliers. He's got 1 foot guard and a couple of musketeers, and on this side he's got 2 foot guard. So his strategy is trying to outflank me and then push me into the center, which is probably a good strategy. Trying to get on the flanks of a good player is always an advantage. Well, let's get into the game. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, we're just moving into the center, taking up position. He's moving his foot guards on the far flank, and pushing his fusiliers along this side. Now with my build, the reason why I call it a pin is what I try and do is basically bring my fusiliers up and try and pin my opponent's center, and once I do that I have 2 Prussian fusiliers, 1 on this side and 1 on this side. And what I tend to do is then break them out of that line formation and set them to skirmish, and the plan usually would be is once the center is pinned is then I will move in on the flanks and put more fire on my opponent's lights. However, with this one it's a little bit different, because I actually have to move my pin group across whilst I'm still trying to form a line along here and get in a good position. One, to sort of hold off his foot guard up here, and also probably try and engage that landwehr because it's sort of out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so he's moving up his lights here. What I'm going to do is, I can see his foot guard on this side and an 8th Life and a musketeer. So I'm probably not going to try and engage him just yet. I'm going to try and move my lights and my pin across. As you can see, He sort of tried to use his meat shield, which didn't work very well at all. Okay, at this point I just want to give you a bit of a top-down view and a quick review of the initial stages of the battle. This is my left flank, and as you can see I've moved into position 2 musketeers, a Prussian fusilier and my foot guard, and 3 of my cav on the side. As we pan across, this is my centre. I'm moving across my Prussian fusiliers and my musketeers on this side. Bit of a gap happening here, however I've initially engaged his militia, and I have my cav on my far right here just to counter or slow any movement here of his foot guards. This is his centre, a couple of cav and a couple of musketeers, and on his flank he's got 1, 2 fusiliers and another fusilier here, which is coming across to face against my lights here, and he's got his 8th life and his foot guard and another musketeer. Now at this stage he's probably thinking he wants to move up and to engage here. However, with the pin that I use, I can easily bring my fusilier out of this formation here, which is in line formation, put it into skirmish, and that'll make him think twice about trying to engage initially here while I bring my other lights across. Now I've set this group out into skirmish mode. That will, if he tries to push now on here, I'll get the first shot off, which is what I want. I also don't take any collateral damage because any bullets coming through here now aren't actually going to hit any of my troops behind. Okay, so now he's moving up his 2 musketeers in the centre, so I'm going to quickly reposition my fusiliers to get a shot off, and I have a support of a foot guard and a musketeer, which is, you know, that's pretty strong when you got a foot guard there. So he's actually pushed up here, and I've got the first shot, and as you can see I'm not actually taking any damage at all, and I'm going to reposition this one and get that side-on shot, which is sort of what the pin is all about, but instead of using my sides to pin, this unit here pinned, and I bring this one across. It's amazing what damage these fusiliers do. That musketeers unit now, its morale's dropping, probably because I've got a foot guard in here as well. He's tried to inch up a little bit with his foot guard on this side. This is probably a mistake he did actually make, is really relying on one flank being really strong, although this was strong with a 8th regiment and a foot guard, but he really didn't engage up here too well. So I'm targeting this unit here, trying to get many shots off as I can, plus probably just repositioning my lancers a little bit. I actually brought them towards the centre because I was feeling quite confident that this was going sort of to plan, so I just wanted to make sure if he actually used his cav, particularly in here, I could counter that with a little bit of cav. So at the moment both of these musketeers got shot up a little bit from my fusiliers. He's moving that flank around. He's got 5 units along here to really, I've only got 2. This one I've moved across towards the centre a bit. At this part of the battle you can see how this is the right side, and he's moving his foot guard into a line formation here and bringing them down here, and pretty much there's nothing I can really do except just to reposition, try and keep my line facing the majority of his line and my cav just on my right side to make him twice about coming in here. Once again, I just bring my Prussian Fusiliers out into skirmish formation on this side. Now if we go across, I've pretty much moved my Prussian Fusiliers here so I can bring them across into here, and this Fusilier unit is actually shooting quite handily at his musketeers. He's moved up his foot guard. Now I'm not going to win this because I've got just 2 musketeers and he's got elites, so this is going to be a bit of a problem for me on this side. Plus he's shooting up my Fusilier. My morale, I'm taking
Our men are running, sir.
a bit of a hit there. I think I probably was a little bit noobish on this side, because I probably should have realised that those units were going to be a little bit too strong for my musketeers. However, I've still got a foot guard in here. I did a cav charge into here basically because he was repositioning and I knew he couldn't get a shot off quickly. That cav charge, I didn't manage to box it in time, but I managed to recover by moving that cav into the centre. I was able to quickly respond to that. Okay, so I've got 3 Prussian Fusiliers in here now, and I'm sort of shooting at his musketeers. My plan is really just to not take too much fire on my Fusiliers and try to use them not just on his Fusiliers but try and hit his line infantry. So he's moving his guard up. Okay, on this side I've repositioned my musketeers, and again he moves into range and I get another shot off on him. But definitely the elites are doing significant damage there, so I'll bring a lancer across. I've already started to move this foot guard in, expecting him to box. He did the right thing here. He tried to pull back before he boxed, which is a good strong move. However, I then attacked this musketeer unit with my cav, which he was unable to box. But he is boxed here, so then I can actually move my elite line in, and it's now the strongest unit on this side. So I'll try and keep this in play as long as I can, because it's the strongest unit on this side now. He's trying to frontal a cav assault, but I managed to box and also then hit him with cav. He's moved up to take advantage of the box.